Oh shit! What did he say to you?
Yeah, I was like, someone he's already worked that achievement.
Yeah, what did he say back to you?
He's like,
Oh, and you ran away. I saw a video he sent to you where you're crying. But yeah. Why were you crying? Fucking hell! Who the fuck is that? Oh my
crying.
god!
I was crying.
Oh, did you see that fail? Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna slap a donkey right now, man! Shut it, you! Dickhead! Who the fuck spawns there, bruv? Hey guys, you here, right here, yeah, genius. So, welcome to another top 5 episode today. We've got top 5 awesome overtakes. Of course, I'm trying to get your clips in as well, but a lot of you guys haven't actually sent in any overtake footage. There's a lot of little flips and stunts and this and that, which is nice to see, but of course, it's also nice to see some overtakes and some time to time. We haven't done an episode like this in a while, but as you guys saw, the disgusting fail beforehand as a troll just respawning. I did not react to it. I sure obviously moved out of the way. I thought it would keep flashing, but hey, I wasn't expecting that. So from the situation, carrying on from the 5th clip from the previous incident, first and second were peeling away from that incident. I was actually keeping up, but then shit happened. So now managed to keep up with second spot. I think he made a mistake up front. First place is miles ahead. Last lap is a intense chase right now. I don't know if I can pull off this overtake or not at this position, because on these tracks, F1 tracks, is all down to driver errors mostly if you want to go for an overtake, because it's extremely difficult to go for overtakes when both cars are going at the same pace. So especially with a Turismo or a supercar, whatever, it's very difficult. But in this position, we're coming to the last part, final part of the track. And I was like, alright, I'm just going to follow his lines, slightly go wide here to carry extra speed on the inside here, and cut to the inside on this section, maybe put him off on the line and make him go wide there. Of course, when he cuts back, he's going to go wide, so I can get that side by side. I don't know if I'm going to pull this off, clench it on that tyre stack, not to hit it, because if I hit that, I would have screwed it up for both of us. And then managing to get that reaction day live as I was recording, and managing to get second spot. So I found that really awesome, and of course avoiding the respawning dickhead, because stuff like that is on that particular track. I find it extremely difficult to go for overtakes. A lot of people do find it difficult, but it's definitely possible in those situations. You're gonna pay extra care or pay extra attention. But this one was funny. I just alright, we got a little bit of airtime and gave it gas, so I lost all traction, just drifted right between the sign there. I don't know how I did that, because even in free roam, we tried to do it intentionally, you can fail easily. But this was during an actual race. I was trying to challenge for first spot, pushed a little too hard, lost a bit of patience, but managed to recover and still keep my second position there. But from this point, you'll see pretty much a nice little battle going on, and there was 3 cars around here. So carrying on here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. I think the clip before, by the way, the bonus clip was after this. So this is where I grab a position, and then the clip before you saw, the bonus clip, is what comes after this footage, if that makes sense. Not sure why I did that, but you see here, these are nice roads as well, because it's nice and wide, and really it's all about holding lines as well. But then of course, with these prop placements, it's extremely difficult, and you have to be really paying attention once again. So a little bit bumper grind collision there. I think one car goes off, unfortunately. But I knew that it was a cheap move against Elm, because he already was defending and got knocked off by my chain collision. So I sort of let go of the gas and gave back his position. But this is where it's important. When you're following someone else's line, you don't want to push too hard. That's one of the issues that I have personally. I push too hard when I follow someone. I get a little bit too impatient. Well, I saw this move here. Thought, okay, I could go for the outside, but then I sort of slightly touched his rear, so I lost a little bit of speed to make that move. But I did have that move there planned for the next lap, and that's something that I loved about this track, is that particular corner. It's really awesome for outside overtakes, and because I sort of read this play here, I can carry on to the next lap. So you see it's a long straight here for the finish, and this is once again GTA 5 racing. People say it's quite straightforward and simple, but when it comes to this point of view, it requires there's a lot of practice involved, and there's a lot of patience as well. So one of the main things that a lot of people do lack, in my opinion, when I see people race, it's just having to focus, staying behind someone, and really just not panicking in these situations, and staying calm and really understanding the lines to take, because at these speeds you can easily lose concentration. That's the thing. So bumper to bumper stuff right now. I want to try and follow his line. Maybe I can get upper hand or the speed that I do, but then there's already a corner coming, kicking in, so he's already got a better line ahead of me, so he's going to get a little bit of space here. So I'm making sure I'm just composed, because I know, even in this situation right now, I don't have to give up, because I can still make a move. If I get this line right, and I did, I can keep up to him, because now my revs are high. If I just brake right, floor it at this point, my gear ratio is going to kick in right away, and obviously this point downhill, I'm going to hit top speed much quicker than him in front, and that's why I'm going to keep up to him at this point. Just making sure I get that line right. Position here, brake hard, cut in, don't touch the outside, bumper to bumper stuff. Yet again, I'm going to cut back on the right. Remember the move beforehand, the previous lap? Yet this time, I managed to get that extra speed without touching his rear, so I can grab the outside there. Of course, make the move whilst actually holding my position at the same time, because of the tight approach, but exit was beautiful, and then keeping it there with the same rate of speed for both cars. And that's how you got to do it, man. That's how you got to do it. I really do enjoy these sort of overtakes, and I do sometimes even look back at the footage. I'm like, wow, like this shit is sick. But I found this really awesome as well. I probably shouldn't have put this as a bonus clip, but this was part of one of my sort of one of my first few creations, Chicken Grand Prix, and this was interesting. Took sub styles out, so I obviously had to wait. So I pretty much lost 2 positions because of that. So 2 guys were coming from the rear. I think that's Combo and Sean L. So this is where, approaching the last lap, I was thinking, all right, so just lost 2 positions. I'm just going to hold outside here. But of course, covered a little bit too much distance there. So trying to cut back in, get the extra speed for the exit because of the distance. And now I can just take my time. This is where you got to think. You got to think really hard about what you want to do in this position, because 3 cars ahead. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut back, dodge the car on the outside, and squeeze through the middle. I see the gap there, exploited it, carrying that speed, and managed to push through. That was an extremely aggressive overtake, but a legitimate overtake at the same time, because there was no contact made between all the cars. So I found that extremely awesome, and that thrill and that sort of adrenaline rush you get through that is absolutely awesome. And that's one of the beauties of GTA 5 racing. At this pace, you can do this sort of stuff properly as well. So you see the gap just split there. I was like, all right, that was all down to anticipating it. And through this, you just got to squeeze through and really get that the analog stick movement right. Otherwise, you screw both players up there. But preferred spot, there's some nice side-by-side action. I like these roads because it's extremely flat. And, you know, if you do get your lines straight and get them right, you can really apply pressure and hold some nice side-by-side battles as well. And these sort of tracks, you know, there's a lot of breathing spaces where, you know, you get this nice straight, but then when the corners come up, that's where you have to get your braking right and react to them off the bat, because if you don't, you lose a lot of speed on the exit, and for the remaining straight, you're going to lose out. So obviously getting the lines right as well is important, because these corners, you can carry a lot of speed if you get them right and get the timing right as you approach the apex with the racing line. But I'm showing you once again another lap, so you can see from this point of view. The reason why I'm showing you the entire footage rather than me just cutting straight to the thing, so you guys can get that point of view, how it would feel if you were to be in this position, what you could do to probably improve on, get yourself into this position instead of, I don't know, it's sort of, because personally, a lot of people ask me how do you improve racing GTA 5. Of course, people would just right off the bat say practice, but no matter how much you practice, you know, you won't ever get these situations over and over again. That's the thing. These situations come, and that's when you have to adapt to them, you know, because hot lapping is one thing where it's quite straightforward. You know, you repeat the same thing over and over again. It's quite easy to learn from that because it's your own mistakes. But when it comes to this point of view, when it's actual racing with other cars involved that you can get into contact with, the whole point is to try and avoid it. That's where a lot of situations will change, because in this position, yeah, sure, I've been in this position multiple times and different attempts of these tracks, but you can't really get to that position every single time, if that makes sense. Like, you can't get these 3 cars like that, you know, with me here in this position that I am now, because everything is sort of a chain of event. Every single race is different. That's why people say, why are you not bored of GTA racing? Because every race is different situations, different outcomes, different result. And when you get to a position, it's always different. It's a different situation. I've never had this before. This side-by-side right here, I've never had it. You know, throughout this entire bit, it was just amazing. Just holding different lines, just seeing the other person really holding it as well. And this is a sort of experience that I want to obviously show you guys that you can get from GTA 5 racing if it's done this way. Of course, if you're watching this video for the first time, you're on my channel for the first time, you're probably wondering, wait, what's so cool about this? Of course, you know, this is racing without catch-up or slipstream. So it's all about the player. It's about the driver knowledge of the track and how to hold different lines. And this is what I say all time again. A lot of people that resort to catch up on slipstream are not willing to learn when it comes to this sort of racing. Because if you're willing to learn and you're willing to understand the concept behind this and how this game works, specifically with these lines and side-by-side battle, then you're gonna get great experience out of it. You're gonna get the thrills, the joy. Because this right here, this El Misters clip, this is awesome. So it's part of the Formula E, a little sort of event we had yesterday on my stream. It was supposed to be 24 drivers, ended up being this, but you know, it is what it is, 14 drivers. So it was 20 laps each race, average, and it was 5 tracks in a playlist. And this guy did the same move 2 laps in a row, and this was the last lap he was going through. The lap before you saw the first move he made on that exact same corner you see now. He'll make another move trying to grab the 5th position, because every position mattered on this event to count towards your final overall points, to see where you finished in the tables and standings. So you see him making the same move again and manages to grab another position. It's sort of deja vu, sort of the different sort of mistake made by the person in front, I guess. But you see that is awesome stuff right there. Stuff like that you can do on this game. This one, once again, the last lap push, but this time pushing for first position from my point of view. This is the second track that will be used for the F1 championships. You guys can sort of get a perspective of what to expect in the actual event, or what sort of overtakes you guys will see, or how to even do them if you're taking part in them. Of course, in the situation, you see the double right-hander coming from the first long straight, and now we're approaching another straight going back onto the track itself. And this is where it comes to a little tricky section we have to really pay attention. So I really like this. You know, it's got a nice breathing space at first, and then you got a little tricky section you got to really pay attention to, and once again the breathing space afterwards. So the middle part of this track is where it's like nice little chicanes here, and you can get a lot of speed out of this if you're really paying attention. Of course, at this point, got another right hand, and you got double left coming up at this point at the hospital with the pit lane just ahead. If you go straight in, if you saw the video, the F1 informational thing that I put up quite a while back actually, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. So you can grab the outside here, but you have to be extremely ballsy, and then from this point you want to try and stick as close as possible to the inside, because the outside there's a little bit of dirt that can slow you down. And then once again pulling that outside move on the last lap, managed to just grab it, and that feeling right there was once again absolutely awesome. So hopefully you guys got somewhat of a point of view of how to get into these situations, how to go about it. It comes down to just understanding how racing works in the car itself, and just having the confidence to keep applying pressure and knowing exactly what you're doing the corner after you take the first corner. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. More episodes. Check you. Sign out. Good night. Peace. Yeah.